Okay, so I've put together a little test run in Unity. Most of it's done for you in this little side scroller. All I did was add the platforms and retexture it, add some sounds and things. So when you step on them, they actually fire you. Had to follow a guide, but it's pretty cool. Works nicely. So yeah, this is the whole game, but I'm just learning how it actually works, like how to actually use the buttons and what does what. But yeah, I can see this being pretty cool. Once I get the hang of the actual scripting part of it a bit more. Because you're not actually coding, you're just like linking a load of things. It's a bit confusing. I'll show you in a minute. Let's just exit that. Oops, that's not what I want. There we go. So this is my code here for the launch pad. As you can see, it's very different to anything else I've ever used, but it's kind of makes sense. This is like the first time I've ever seen it, so yeah, it's a little bit confusing. But basically, you have to add all of your stuff in like separately, like the actual box itself that is the platform in the game. Then you add in like another box that's invisible for the collision. Then you add in any audio you want, and then you add in any of the particles, like the little explosion thing that appears. If you saw that, I'll just replay real quick just so you can see. Oh, I need to minimize this. Okay, here we go. So it's a bit hard to see, but basically that lava is actually like a separate object, and then there's a hidden collision box for when you actually step onto it, and then there's the bit where the sound is, because obviously you want the sound to be there as well, so that if you were playing like first person, it would actually sound like the explosion is right there rather than in the distance somewhere. And then you've got the actual the little explosion thing I'll show you right there. See that where it flashed real quick? You have to add that in as well. So you have to put that in the right place, and then basically once you've done that, you can adjust how far up the player needs to go. With this bit here, actually it's this one technically, because I have two. One goes slightly higher and the other two are slightly lower. So if I change this down to 200 and compile that, and then we minimize out again and play, you'll see I now would only jump a tiny bit. There we go. So basically not even jumping at all. So you can play around with that, make it do different things. If I want to, I can make it launch me in a different way. If I want to go to the X value, perhaps. Oops, too many. Haven't got used to that yet. So if I go up here now, oh, it's not going to launch me yet. Okay. Pretty sure it should have done. Maybe we have to do this as well. Can you minimize? Thank you. Yeah, why didn't that work? Okay, whatever. This is the first one, yeah. maybe it's the Y value? That wouldn't make sense. Can you, thank you. It seems to take a little while to minimize now. Oh, okay, so it's the Y value. Interesting. So as you can see, it now fires me backwards. So you could do like getting hit by a bullet, something like that. Not sure why it's the Y instead of the X, but there we go. Obviously that's just the way this platform was set up, the thing is set up on its own. I'll just change that back just so I remember. So basically, yeah, we'll go through again. We've got the basic box, which is like where you're going to get your starting point, and then you've got a if statement here. This is what I followed the the tutorial for. Basically, this is like an if statement, and then it says if you're on the box, this is the character. So if the character's on the box, then launch that, make him jump, basically. If and then you got this here. So if I change the character, apparently it will keep that. I wasn't really sure about this part. I don't really understand much of this starting part. It didn't really make a lot of sense. Like, what is this for? Apparently this is an equal, so if your character equals something, it goes in. I don't really know. I was just like, whatever, like that. And then you've got your audio, and tell it to play the audio. And then you've got your position of the cube here to play the particle at the right place. Because there seems to be two ways to do it. You can do it all like this, or you can do it in the actual editor bit. You can add in different parts to it. But the trouble is, if you do it this way, there's no... I couldn't work out how to copy and paste. I think I've figured it out actually, so it probably will be alright. But the way I was taught in the thingy was that you had to drag it from down here. Yeah, down in the menu, there's this like other bit. I don't know if I can move it. I can. Okay. Down here, so you can drag stuff around. Like this is my extra launch pad if I want to put one in, and then I can play that. And there's another launch pad. So real simple to add in stuff like that once you've actually created it. Yeah, I cheated and made the lava separate, but you could technically texture this as well if you wanted to. And yeah, that's pretty much as much as I know basically for now. You can move stuff around, scale it. Copy it, that I know, like so. Quite easy to add extra stuff. So obviously I won't be able to get up there now, but yeah, things like that. So I can move this up a bit like that, and then you can literally just press play. And your things are already here in place. And they're already working. Everything's already set up. And the character I didn't do anything with, he just, apart from had this cool texture. But that was already part of it as well. So very, it does look cool on him though. Like, I assume it must actually be made for him, but it's not very clear. Like the textures are down here. Let me just remember how to get to them. Here we go, textures, and it was this one here, and it just says T-Spot core material. It doesn't really tell you what it's for or anything, and I was just like, well, I don't know, I just put it on him because it looks cool in here, and it actually seems to be perfectly fitting for him. Oop, a bit faster. So that's very cool. You see it's all on his fingers and everything. It's very nice. I like it. But yeah, you can just drag and drop things on him. It takes a little while to load in new textures, but once you've loaded them once, they're really fast. There we go. Oh, he's even got eyes now, I think. Something. It looks like eyes. I don't think it's eyes, but it looks like eyes. But yeah, these are just standard textures that came with it. We'll put that one back. See, as you can see, it's much quicker once the actual texture is on there. Because I think I've already done this one here, so you can blend in with a background. Oh, okay, this one is actually going to take a while. Maybe it's because I'm putting it on him for the first time rather than a wall. But yeah, when I did all the walls, it just instantly loaded them. Maybe because they're simple blocks. Yeah, but that's it for now. So I could technically probably add things like bullets and moving squares that you have to dodge and stuff like that now. I know how to do most of that sort of thing. Could probably make these that move up and down on their own. Like, so you had to actually time the getting underneath it. Might be pretty cool. So yeah, I could already start to add in more to this this gameplay. Like maybe you could even kill the player if he lands on the ground, and have it like the whole thing is just all jump platforms, stuff like that. But this is just basically like a demo that they made. Everything was already laid out, like this level is already here. It's just to give you an example of how to start creating a game. And like I say, all I did was add in the jump pads by following a tutorial basically. And a few things I worked out myself. But yeah, it's a promising start. I don't really know how to actually go about creating things at the moment. Like, this is apparently a character. I mean, it's clearly not. It's an invisible box. I have no idea like how you actually add in a character, because the character's already here when I started, so I don't really know. Maybe this, and then nope. Okay. Yeah, I don't really understand much on that side of it. Maybe one of these. Nope, there's nothing there. So I don't know much about this sort of thing. I don't really know how to change what it looks like. Can you go away? Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I could probably just copy and paste him, I guess. I don't actually know what happens now. Like, which one do I control? Oh, the second. Okay, interesting. Oop, bounced on his head. Boing. Boing. That's interesting. The collision like just automatically works and you kind of bounce off him already. And it seems to even work out which way you should go based on like the direction you're going. That's really cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good enough, I think, for now.